Sarah Marie. I'm a motivational blogger here in Brisbane, Australia, and I'm here to try and inspire people, just like myself, just everyday people, to hopefully follow their dreams, their heart's desire, and really get out there and break free from what they might be currently experiencing that they're really just not that happy with. So here I am. In order to help inspire people to live their dreams, and myself too, I've decided to start a series of video interviews. My first guest is Lee Heron. Lee is working in a talent agency here in Brisbane, and he works with models and actors. So Lee, how are you going?
Very well, thank you, Sarah.
Very
Marvelous.
good.
Happy to be here.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Lee. About your history, where you've been. I probably don't need to say all that. I'm gonna cut that.
Yeah,
I keep on thinking like I'll be cutting that bit.
I'll be cutting that. Is there going to be anything left? First of all, thank you for inviting me in, Sarah. Obviously, I work here in Brisbane with actors and models and so on at the talent agency. But hi to everyone. And where I come from, well, I'm obviously English. Initially. Born and raised in Newcastle upon Tyne up north. Bloody cold up there. My God, it is. Yeah, it's character building, all right. You don't know you're alive till you've had a north wind rip you in two. I can assure you at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh.
Yes, but I lived there till just before I was 18. Then I moved down to London, and I actually left, came to Australia with a girl, of course, my one Achilles heel, the heart. Say no more. But gets us all. Then we broke up, and I was about to go back to England, and then met another Australian girl who wanted to come back to the UK with me. So we went back. Her freezing our backside off, and me just wondering why am I here when I'm sitting in Queensland underneath blue skies. In the warmth, not having to do rude things to radiators and paying a fortune for heating bills. Why are we here?
Yeah.
We came back. We came home, and we were together 4.5 years. Incredible girl. She was born with no left arm.
Wow.
She only had the one arm, and incredible. And I have never seen anyone as positive as what she was. She just never let it stop her. But everything she knew, every single time she went for a job interview or wherever she went, she would always have to overprove herself because. Of course, it sounds so stupid, and this isn't a punchline, I promise. But it's, why would you hire someone with one arm when you can hire someone with two? And then we broke up, Christy and I broke up, we remained friends, and everything was okay. And then I stayed over here. I had a choice to either go home to the UK again, or stay here. Yeah. And I don't know, there's some magnetic pull to Australia for me. Friends of mine asked me to go back and said, you just come home. But there was some magnetic pull that forced me to stay here. This was my part. This was, I don't know, I just couldn't leave it. I couldn't possibly, couldn't leave it. So I stayed. A few key events. We had a car accident in 2006. I got married to Kendall, who is now my ex-wife, but we still speak together and we run the agency together. Very proud of the fact that we've managed to stay friends through it all. And but we had a car accident together, and she was in the passenger seat, and I'll never forget. I've always been in and out, in office jobs, I guess. I worked with some really, really good companies and I had some really good jobs, but unfortunately post-accident it's damaged a disc in my neck, so now I can't sit at a desk, struggle on phones obviously, and doing that sort of work is an issue for me. So, but on a positive, there's always positives from the negatives, of course. It changed my life path. It brought me into looking at acting, and then ultimately sort of writing, and then here we are with the agency and so on. So I get to work with and be around some really incredible talents and some beautiful people, and I don't just mean that in terms of looks. I mean energy. Yes, it's all hobnobbing with models. It's not like that. No. Just be really beautiful energies and really nice souls, and really, really, really strong people. We meet a lot of spiritual people, of course. This is the industry that we're in. A lot of people can read energies and so on, and you can either be afraid of it or you can just accept it and go with the flow. And it's really quite beautiful. Yeah. So, and then of course, that's sort of paraphrasing it a little bit for you, but sort of here we are.
And do you feel like all of the things that happen in your life have kind of directed you to your heart's desire? Like, do you feel like being in this talent agency is something that you really love and that you're passionate about?
Yeah, I would say so. I think one of the main things is, and I mean, look, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy working, in offices and stuff, but I think there's also that creative element in everyone that's there, that lies dormant. Some people react to it and respond to it and live with it, other people ignore it and switch off to it. I think with what we do, with working with actors and helping people and bringing them out of themselves and so they overcome their fears and everything else, then it's really quite beautiful to see. It really is. But of course, we have our favourites. Who doesn't? We're only human. Probably shouldn't say that. But say la vie. This is an honest interview, so hey.
Yeah.
You do, and you can see things in people straight away when you see them. You just know, well, you're going to the top.
Yeah.
You really are that good.
Yeah.
You just don't know it yet. And you can just see it in them, and it's so beautiful watching them grow and come out of themselves, and you can just see that natural progression to get them to where they need to be. So I guess a lot of people in life, that you have that decision of, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
The crossroads, if you like. Do I go on the career path? Do I go to uni? Do I work? Do I get a job? What do I do? Or do I follow my heart and go with the creative element? It's something that ignites that passion and fire within the soul, Unfortunately, when people come to us, we do get one or two that come through that focus on the money. But we tend to sort of steer clear of those and send them elsewhere. But
because I guess that's thinking with your head instead of your heart. When you're focused on money, that's not really something that you're passionate about. Well, I guess people can be passionate about money, but but that's not really fulfilling their sort of life's dream, or what they actually really want to do and are happy doing. They're just looking for that money angle.
That's exactly it, Sarah. It's if you focus on anything in life, on the negative of the money or anything else, it's the desire, it's the greed, it's everything that goes against your human nature. Really, the goodness of following your heart with purity is something that's just going to lead you to more misery. But people don't see that because you can be so programmed through, ironically enough, media and television. The irony's not lost on me, believe me. But you can be so programmed by that it does take you away from that following your heart with pure love and goodness and intention of spirit and soul. And when you stay on that path and follow it, then eventually that good energy that you're putting out there will come back, and it will come back to you. I mean, the Earth's round for a reason. It goes around and bangs you on the back of the head. It's like, what was that? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really beautiful to be around it.
It must be amazing to, work with people and help them overcome fears, because fears are such an everyday occurrence for everyone. There is no one that is exempt from having fears, and maybe they just don't realise it, or there's blocks that they don't see. But having a job where you can really help people kind of take steps to get to really where they want to be, and how good and how amazing they want to be in their profession, that just must be really rewarding.
Yeah, it really is. It's we put a lot of time into it with certain people that do genuinely want to improve themselves, and you can see they do, you can feel they do, and it really is so rewarding. The panicking, just very simple things like you panic, you forget to breathe. It's like, if you don't breathe, guys, you're gonna die. You're starting to go blue. Please breathe for me. Just step one, I need you to breathe. We'll work on it. Breathe. That's the first thing. But when you start delving into the psychological aspect of performance and why you react to certain things, not just with this, but obviously this is where the focus is. But when you start looking at the psychological things behind why we do things, why we make decisions, why we make choices, then to bring people around that and just not change their thought patterns, but get them to think more about why they do certain things.
Be aware of what they're doing. Yeah.
The old cliche, the first law, I think it is. I'm not a scientist. Every action has a reaction. So true.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So if you do this, that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding that, and it's more prevalent as well with camera and screen, because of course everything you do on camera or screen sends a message to the viewer, and you need to be perceptually aware of what you're creating. So you need to have an empathy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have an empathetic approach to things and understand what you're trying to create and connect with script and words. And the only way you can truly do that is to be free. It's the only way you can do it. Otherwise, you're acting, and no one wants to see people act. It's got to be true.
It's called acting, but it's not really acting.
Yeah, I'm aware of the contradiction here. I just want to point that out. It's called acting, but you're not really acting. I mean, a lot of people, and it's bizarre, but a lot of people, where their focus is wrong, and their focus is on the money or the stardom or whatever, it may be, but if it's not coming from love and light, then they go in with the wrong attitude, and they think, they hear action, then they change. Their eyes change, their demeanour changes, and it's like, it's an extension of you,
Mm-hmm.
You need to be true. You need to take the masks off and be comfortable in your own skin and let the world see you for who you are, and just say, hey, this is me. This is me as I am. If you don't like it, well, not my problem, but it's not going to affect me, Whereas the more naive, shall we say, interpret acting is putting masks on. And it's like, it's so not.
It's interesting. So you're like taking layers away instead of putting layers on.
Yeah, you're stripping yourself bare.
Yeah.
And for myself personally, and this is only my opinion, but I think it's why so many of the top level performers and actors, they're prone to breakdowns. Because in order to perform, you have to be able to go back and delve into some of the most painful memories that you've had in your life to portray a true emotion. It's like, well, okay, how did I react when I broke my leg? Well, I haven't broke my leg, so I'm going to have to guess at that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow,
It's like you've got to go to those painful parts of your mind with, where you've been hurt in relationships or whatever it's been, and really deliver that with sincerity through the eyes, and the viewer will warm to you. And that's whilst the top performers, as I say, I believe, are prone to that element of breakdown, they're also prone to the greatness. And that's hitting it and making the viewer connect with them personally, and it's so beautiful.
It is,
sort of getting
really
that
beautiful.
through, and we have a few performers here who can really do that, and it's really beautiful to see. Like that when they do it, they blow me away, and it's like, Jesus, it's just so good, Explain it to them, because especially, and this is why we avoid egos, is the ego doesn't allow things like getting knocks. It's a bad reaction, so you have to let go of the ego. Stage 1. Then
this is a good life lesson. Let go of ego.
It's not, no more. But yeah, I mean, look, if you get that, then what happens is, and you get rejected, the ego responds, and it comes out in different forms, sort of anger, abuse, whatever it may be, or just something that's a negative, not a positive. Whereas if you're aware of how everything is, and you don't have that ego attached to you, it just sails over your head. And that's really what you need to do.
At the moment.
Yeah.
So it's just like rolling on and going with the flow.
It's a continual roll, It's thanks for the no, it brings me closer to a yes.
Exactly, yeah.
And a very good friend of mine, I still quote you on this, by the way. I know you'll see this. He said to me, "You need the heart of a butterfly, but the skin of a rhino," and it's so true, because you do, because you have to have that softness of heart to portray your emotions, to hit your emotions, and to bring them out, to bring them up to the surface when you need to, and that's difficult as well, because you've got someone saying action, cry, give me this, give me that, and it's difficult, and you have to be able to compartmentalise your own brain. And pull your thoughts through. But you also need that thickness of skin to handle the rejections, and to handle someone saying, well, that's not right, I don't agree with that, and you just have to take it and deal with it and overcome it and still perform on cue. So it takes a very special kind of person to actually be a performer. Seriously. Hang on. Oh, your framing's it's pretty tight framing, so I'm going to have to hold here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I've loved hearing about what inspires you in your current job and what you love to do. But now on a more personal level, can you tell me something about yourself that you're passionate about? Maybe a subject or something that's come up in your life that you've had experience with?
Yeah, look, it probably sort of crosses over with not crossing over, sorry, but it probably crosses over with some of the previous conversation we've had, and that is around the spirituality. But one thing that's fascinated me for a long time now, and it's really just came to the surface more and more in the last couple of years, is are twin flames, or are twin flames, which it's the perfect balance. It's the yin yang.
Yeah, and so what's the definition of a twin flame to you?
Well, we're all created in one energy. Then that energy splits, male, female, positive, negative. Which one's positive, which one's negative? I am not getting into that debate. Just will not be drawn in. But it's fascinating when you understand it and you start reading more and more. And I'm not an expert on it. It's a work in progress, but I could read for hours on the subject. It's just so incredibly interesting to me that we're created in the energy we split, the male, female, positive, negative, as I said, and then we each go on our own path in our own life journey. But like magnets, you're drawn together. And you come back together, but it's very rare. What, 7.5 billion people on Earth, so it's very rare for two energies, twin flames, to hit together at the same point in time, to be on the same Earth together, to be carnate at the same time, and it's strange, and this is where I probably do get dragged away by white coats, but I've had a few clairvoyant readings in the last 18 months, and the first one said it would be very, very yin-yang. The second, with another person, said it would be very male-female, and the third one just outright said, you're going to be with your twin flame. And it was like, holy dooly, I've been right, because you know what we were saying earlier about energy going out there and coming back to us, it was really strange, because in the research I've done suggests that your soul knows that your twin flame's near and it's coming, but your physical body doesn't. And a couple of years ago, this is going to sound really weird, but a couple of years ago I wrote I love writing poetry, and a couple of years ago I wrote a series of 20 poems. And what has happened, I'm not saying I'm incarnate here, but whatever I write comes true, but the energy that I put into it was so complete, you know, from, as we were saying, the right direction coming from love and from the heart, and subconsciously at a soul level, I've actually put out there to the universe that that's what I wanted. And when certain things have happened over the course of the last few years, and the words have started to come true, the first time I was like, oh, that's a bit of a coincidence. But then more and more they're starting to come true, and it was like, Jesus and God, how do I explain this to someone? But here I am trying to. So we've moved on from that, obviously. Yeah, trying. But it's like, yeah, it's such an incredible thing. It's that perfect thing, the male-female balance. It's so easy. As I say, like within some of the readings, they said it would just be so easy, so simple between you. There's obviously different levels, different stages the twin flame union goes through. It's not always a bed of roses as people think. There are challenges. You have to remove ego again. You have to remove all of that, and you have to be perfectly balanced. And one of the last reading I had, the lady said, very accurate, incredibly accurate, mind. And she said, look, your energies are perfectly balanced for a relationship. But me being a classic Scorpio, it's like, right, well, that's fine, but I'm not going to settle for anything less than complete and utter perfection. Yeah. You know, a lot of Scorpios are very misunderstood, honestly. But a lot of Scorpios do analyse things, and they're very guarded with who they let in, and I mean that sincerely. I know I am, being brutally honest with you, but once someone gets in, they stay in always, unless they shoot you, whatever. Then, yeah, you know, then you tend to get a bit pissy. But yeah, no, on a serious level, it's like once you let someone in, they're in. And I've researched this to God knows the umpteenth degree. Like I've got Linda Goodman's Star Signs book. I don't know if you've ever come across it.
No, not as yet, actually.
I'll email it through to you.
Yeah,
honestly, it's
that'd
in
be great.
PDF. But what it does is it actually dissects and looks at every single pairing in the zodiac, every single one. And so I'm sort of going through every single one, you know, like reading, it gives you the faults, the positives, what works, what doesn't, the negatives, and everything. I've looked at numerology and the whole 9 yards, and yeah, it's incredible. And personally, I could be right, I could be wrong. It's not unusual for Scorpios to be wrong.
But I guess it's irrelevant though, because this amazing journey that you're obviously on, this process of researching and really getting passionate about the subject, you know, it's such a great experience in itself. So, you know, as they always say, like Abraham Hicks says it a lot in the, it's not about the journey, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
and you're never ever going to get there. You know, it's about getting there though.
It's how you arrive.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's it is. It's fascinating. As I say, I could honestly just read about it and discuss it for hours. It really does. It infatuates me, even to the point I've actually got yin yang tattooed on my shoulder just before Christmas.
Yeah.
But
it's like a target. Here I am. It's like a target.
Yeah, well, I don't know about a target. Seriously, right? I don't want to be in any Jason Bourne movies. Seriously. No target. Yeah, look, it does just fascinate. I mean, look, personally, I do believe that I have actually met her. First time that I actually did see her, and it was just breathtaking. It was just literally looking at something angelic, and it was like, whoa. And this is a really funny one, actually, but. And any of your female friends watching this, I want you to understand that this is my explanation. Don't think you can control a guy with a remote control. I know many of you have fantasized over this. It is not possible. But this is what it felt like to me. Was I was in a situation where I had to retain control. And the first time it happened, she was controlling my thought process.
Wow.
And I was like, that's strange. Must be the morphine. And second time it happened, it was like, holy Jesus. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's very weird. And the third time I was just a complete wreck. But
yeah.
Anyway, but it happens. You can control the energy. It was literally like being controlled by remote control. So for every woman out there sitting thinking, how do I do that? Start researching it. And good luck. But yeah, it's just fascinating. The whole concept is the perfect balance where there's darkness, there's light, where there's, you know, negative, there's positive, the whole thing. And it's just so simplistic, but it's everything. It's the wavelength, the intellectual stimulation, it's literally everything, but it's that highest, purest form of divine love, not just, you know, go out Friday night, get potted, get hammered, and wake up with someone thinking, Jesus, coyote ugly here, I'm going to chew my arm.
Yeah,
but, you know, it's that highest form of divine love, and not many people understand that or grasp it, and it's just such a beautiful thing and such a beautiful concept.
Yeah, I have done some research into it, and it seems as if the twin flame union actually can be quite difficult, especially at first, obviously, because you're bringing up each other's, you know, sore points, and you're bringing each other's, you know, fears up and all that kind of stuff. So it's like you're opposite. So it's like you guys are kind of bringing up what each other needs to be aware of. So a lot of people can't actually deal with that kind of situation because it's so intense.
Yeah, exactly what I found. You have to. It is very intense because it is the meeting of your other half, your true other half, and the energy. It's your energy, and as you say, it's difficult because, and that's why one of the reasons you have to let go of ego. You have to have everything balanced in your own head and your own mind. You have to be, of course, ready for it. It's not uncommon for one of the twins to actually run. And which hurts the other one, and then eventually that they come back together. There's a lot of reading that I've done on that, and it all, you know, it all confirms it. And but it can be difficult. It can be easy. It depends on the two people at the time and how their energies are balanced, how close they are, and at what stages in their life they are.
Yeah,
it's just fascinating.
Absolutely, and I think that at the moment the research was saying that because we're in such an amazing spiritual place as a consciousness, like as Earth at the moment, you know, everyone's, you know, waking up and everyone's becoming more conscious. These twin flame unions are happening more frequently than ever before because people are waking up more spiritually and getting in touch with their heart's desire and, you know, living through love and living from that place, that your attraction is becoming more intense and stronger. So it is happening more often.
It is, absolutely. It's funny because you'll read it in the front of the Linda Goodman book. There's a 20-30 page passage in there, and she's actually she wrote several books on star signs and stuff. But she says in the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the first twin flame pairing, and we are in the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I'm not saying this is me, but it says that the first twin flame pairing that come together in this dawning of the new age will be very powerful.
Yes.
And that then from there other twin flames will fall hand in hand. And it is the dawning in the age of Aquarius we're in, of course. The energy shift has been a great thing. It's the vibration, everyone can feel it. People are becoming more, as you say, spiritually in tune, more awake, which is it's not a negative, it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And you know, to be aware of that and mindful of that, you have to follow your heart, you truly do. And that was the very first reading I had. Actually, he hadn't even read me, it was just on the phone. He said, you have to follow your heart. But later on, he did say, and this made me laugh, he said you got to be careful who you let in. It's like you're telling a Scorpio, triple Scorpio actually. You're telling a triple Scorpio who you let in. You know, be careful. It's like seriously.
Got that covered.
Yeah, got that place covered. But no, seriously, I'm grateful for the advice because he said, you know, hell hath no fury if a woman scorned, of course, and yeah, I've dodged a few bullets on that path, I can tell you. But you know, you've got to, and this is the thing, not just with you know. The yin yang, the twin flame, but with any relationship, you know straight away whether it's right, whether it's wrong. You know.
Absolutely.
And you know, somebody close to me, she drives me insane because she'll go out on these dates, and then I'm like, how did it go? And she's like, oh, this isn't right, that isn't right. And I'm like, well, why are you bothering?
Yeah.
Because over time, that little drop at the start, when it's all puppies and kittens, is going to eventually crack the rod, and it's never going to end well. So you know in your own self, but because you allow yourself to go down the path, you're not following your heart, you're not being true to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got to do that. You have to do that because if you don't, it's going to end badly. And people need to be aware of that. Follow your heart. Easy.
Easy, very easy. Yes, fantastic. Oh, that was really great. I really enjoyed that conversation. Well, thank you for being here with us today, Lee. It's been really fantastic to get an insight into what you love to do, how you're following your heart's desire, and what you're passionate about.
Thank you. It has been a pleasure. It's been fun, actually. Yeah.
We've done a few outtakes, so it has been interesting. I'll show them at the end. It will be fun.
Really?
Don't worry.
This was just not in the contract at all.
I want to make it fun, so I'm going to be honest with everyone about
that's
the
fine.
day and the process.
No, it should be.
Yeah, definitely. So it was really great to have a chat with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if anyone out there has any questions, please just leave them in the comments of the video down the bottom on YouTube, or grab me on Facebook. Grab me. Another outtake. Or contact me on Facebook, Twitter, I'm on Tumblr, anywhere. So just let me know. And Lee has offered his time if you have any questions for him as well. So I'll leave his contact details on the bottom of the video. So thank you so much for joining us. It has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed this journey. To get here, it's all happened within a week, so it's been crazy, but had so much fun. So thank you again, Lee, and
thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Beautiful.
Thanks, guys. We can start. All right. Hi, how you going? What am I doing? How to introduce myself? Do I say like I'm Sarah Marie? Do I say anything about myself first?
Yeah, I think it's important to intro yourself so they know who you are.
Kind of. I was getting there.
That was really good. I was sitting going, she's got it, she's got it, she's got it, she's got it, she's got it. Oh, okay. She started talking to herself again. No. Send help.
Alright. I can do this.
Well, you've done it once. You can do it again. Take 473. So it's now September the 12th. When I said we didn't have any time restraints, I need to shave. Look at this beard. Look at this beard. Hark, is that Santa I hear delivering presents? This interview started on May the 28th.
I will let you out soon, Lee.
May the 28th. I haven't eaten in 3 months. Send.